Welcome, Nick.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm excited to speak with you all today. I've spoken with several of you, and it's great to see names and faces, and it's great to just be part of this community. Number one, my overall purpose today is just to speak to SEO in a simple way. I have been working with Boostability since 2012. I moved to Utah to work for Boostability, and I've seen it grow. And with that, we've been able to do some amazing things. So my goal today is just please ask me questions. The only question that's stupid is the one that's not asked. So please make sure that you are able to and feel comfortable to ask me a question. I'd be more than happy to explain. Boostability's got some great things going on right now as well. We're making some changes in processes and how we're doing things that will enhance our product, especially with what Google's doing with their product themselves with Core Web Vitals and whatnot. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll go from there. Now, really quickly, I would love for just a thumbs up if somebody has used Google in the last month. Let's see if that reactions button works. Has somebody used Google? Or yeah, if you're showing the thing, that's a stupid question, right? I even asked somebody last week, have you used Google in the last week? Because this guy was frustrated, like, who needs SEO? And I said, okay, that's fair. Have you used Google in the last week? And they just looked at me and they gave me this blank stare of just like, you are absolutely ridiculous. Who asks that? And it's to that point where you realize how important Google is, right? So let's get started. See my screen. If I can see my mouse, that would be great. 1 second.
Nick,
awesome.
you asked last month, right?
Yeah, exactly. I asked last month.
It's almost like yesterday.
I
used
know,
Google yesterday,
right?
like it's like brushing your teeth, man.
I've used Google today for my dogs, whether or not they can eat something. My daughter's bus schedule, because I forgot where her school calendar was, and I didn't have the URL. It turns out it's Alpine School District. And then I also tried to figure out what time it was in Berlin, right? Anything and everything is asked on Google. So I want to give you a brief understanding about who Boostability is. Last year alone, we got 78,000 keywords on the first page of Google. We're tracking 2.3 million keywords. All of our SEO is done in-house. We do not outsource our work. We utilize the information that we gather from that 2.3 million keywords and then delegate tasks that we find at an individual vertical that would benefit a customer. So if there's a crazy algorithm update, we'll see it real time and understand what's happening and where it affects, and then we'll help make sure that those tasks are working well. We're in 17 countries, 9 different languages, and then 86% of our customers get on the first page within the first 6 months. Now, we started in 2009, and we are all here in Utah. We do have 50 employees that are in Berlin. If you're going to Cinda, I'll be there as well. It'll be cool to see you there. But Boostability understands what's going on. And this is my goal today is to explain SEO in a simple way so that we all understand it. So what is search engine optimization? SEO is broken down into 2 things, relevance and trust. Often when somebody's saying, Nick, what is SEO? Before I'd go into this really nerdy, complicated answer. And I could just see somebody looking at me like, what are you saying? Like, I don't want to be here right now. So I like to say it like this. SEO is the work that goes into your website to make it relevant and trusted so that Google will put it on the first page of Google. That's it. Relevance and trust. That is all we're trying to do, is build that relevance and trust so that Google understands it. Now, there's a variety of tactics that we'll do in order to make it relevant and trusted, but it always comes back to that, okay? So when you're looking at Google, you're gonna look at the paid ads. This is called a SERP, or search engine results page. You'll see the paid ads at the top. You'll see the map listings. Some people call it the local pack or the map pack. And then beneath there, you've got the organic listings, okay? 84% of people are going to click in this area right here. Paid ads, about 16%, right? Depending on the year or the month, that might vary by a percentage, but it's been around that for the last 5 years, okay? So it is important to know the value of that. Did you know that 99% of people will not click past the first page, right? There's an old SEO joke that now has become awkward, but they say, where do you bury a dead body, right? They say the second page. So it's the value is insane. 50% of users are going to click in the first 3 areas, the first 3 items, first 3 listings on the first page, right? So there's so much value there. Our goal is just to optimize and create the best opportunity to get you on the first page of Google. Now, there's search engine optimization and then there's search engine manipulation. Our goal is to make it to where you are the actual answer that people are searching for. So if you're a donut shop in the middle of Saskatoon on the west side, our goal is to make it to where you can be found for that. Relevance is what is on your website, the way that it's organized, what's going on with it. Trust is what's off of your website, but speaking about it. So when Google comes to a website, they see coding. That's it. So if you go and if you click when you go into a website, go off of an image, do a right click and click page source. That is literally what Google sees. You're going to see a bunch of coding, okay? The way that we work and way that SEO works is we want to make it so that when Google comes to your website and they're crawling it, they understand what's going on. So we want to organize it so that Google understands it. Now, trust is a variety of links coming from a third-party website. Ideally, it needs to be in the same category. For example, if you're a garage shelf, custom garage shelf contractor, you want to have links from home improvement, those types of places. You don't want one from like fitness studios. That doesn't make sense. Google will say that's not natural, and then your ranking could potentially be hindered from that. So we want to get a variety of links from a variety of types of websites, but all within the same vertical, pointing back to your website, okay? Now on Boostability side, we've got some great things coming where we have the ability now to look for specific types of links within a specific vertical, along with a certain type of domain authority. Now, if your website specifically, like if you are in Provo, which is a small town in Utah, close to where I live, and you are a garage or, an automotive group, you might not need a high domain authority link. But if you've got, 10 or 15 different automotive garages, that might warrant getting a higher profile link. And that's something that we are working on and we should have in the next couple of months, which is exciting to see. But it's important to have a variety of links pointing back to your website. When you have relevance and you have trust, you become the best answer. Now, I recently went to New York City, right? And I met this amazing person named Kathy. She's on this call. And I had a call with Kathy and I said, Kathy, I want to go to New York, but I want to see the real New York in the form of, I don't want to just go to the touristy places. Tell me where I should go. So the lovely Kathy was like, Nick, this is what you should do. You should go here. She had her husband in the background and she told me what I should do. Now, for a business owner, Kathy is absolutely amazing and what you want every time, right? Unfortunately, Kathy does not have the ability to tell every person that's visiting New York City or where I was at where to go for food, right? What we need to do is we need to transform your website into a referral machine so that when somebody's searching for an answer, they can find it and Google is providing that referral to you. Now, I love Kathy. She's absolutely amazing. Every reference that she gave me, what did I do? Because I'm a nerd, I went on the internet and I checked to see what was going on, whether or not I actually wanted to go. Now, I did end up going to majority of the places that she wanted me to go to, and I trust her now with her opinion. Before I didn't know, now I do. But so many people do that. Actually, 86% of people who are searching online or buying something in general are going to search online beforehand. Even if you're online at Best Buy to figure out which air purifier you need to buy, so many people will be searching online to figure out which one they should purchase because they've got opportunity to understand more online. It's very important to remember. Any questions so far? Are we liking this? Are we happy? Yeah? Are we all awake? I love it. All right, sweet. So let's talk about the value of SEO, okay? This was something that I was talking about. 99% of people will not scroll to page 2. 84% of searchers are going to skip the paid ads and click beneath. 75% of searchers, it was higher than the 50% I referred to earlier, are going to click in the top 3 listings. 46% of searchers are going to look for local listings. For example, the other day, I realized that one of the tree limbs in the tree in the backyard that I had was cracking, and I need to call an arborist. So I looked up on Google and I found an arborist, but I quickly realized that that arborist was 45 minutes away. So I looked for somebody who was closer to me because I knew it was going to be more convenient for me. Google is going very, very, very hyper local. You need to be and make sure you've got more than enough business with the people around you. You need to make sure that you're at least visible for those, and then we can branch out for other ones. Okay. The science of SEO. So as I was saying, spiders crawling, right? When Google comes to your website and they're seeing that coding, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to look at something called a robots.txt. Okay, think of it as a gatekeeper. Can they pass? That robots.txt allows or disallows whether or not Google can utilize some of the information on your website. So once they go through the robots.txt, at the bottom of your robots, they've got something called your sitemap, right? They like specific formats. So think of it as a nice, beautiful road that's done. It's organized and there's signage telling you exactly where you need to go. Some of the older sitemaps that are out there aren't in a format that makes it easy for Google, so we just want to make it as easy as possible. XML sitemaps are what we like to utilize at Boost, just because I know that Google loves them. There's a lot of plugins and other tools that can create an XML sitemap, but it will give you exactly what you need. So Google goes to robots, then they go to the sitemap, and then they're going to literally branch out and understand everything that's going in your website on your website. Now, similar to like when you're in college or studying, you're going to understand the subject matter of that specific page based off of the chapter heading and the individual section heading, right? Well, in Google and with your website, the section or the chapter heading is your title tag. Okay, so when you're in your search engine results page, similar to what I showed you earlier, this right here, this is your title tag. Google utilizes that to then put it on their search engine results page. So they're going to look there. I would recommend including a keyword and then a location. And then if you can, try and put in another keyword there. Now, it's important to note that you have a certain amount of characters or pixels that are allowed there. Usually it's 69 characters or 512 pixels that are allowed there. Now, after that's done, Google will also look inside of your H1 tag. This is every time, no matter what, they will always look at it. Those are the two most important places that you need to have that keyword placed in that location if you're serving a specific location. Then copy and whatnot. And then there's a lot of more technical things that they'll look at, but that's the basics. Now, once that's done, Google will go and look at other websites and say, okay, this website had this link pointing to this website that is now manicured and beautiful, right? Because we just updated the titles, descriptions, and H1s. And then they're going to go back and forth and do this with every link over and over. And then they're going to compare them about to their peers. And then over time, your ranking will increase, right?
Question here, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
Are you able to see the text box by chance? We got a question from Donald. It's Google. He's asking if Google is adjusting the title tag shown.
They can adjust, or if you don't have title tags within a specific area, Google will choose their own based off of your website, and they'll just blatantly say this is the title tag across every page of the website. I haven't seen it to where they'll adjust the ones that you've got. I know that they'll cut off if you're going past the pixel amount or the character amount, but I haven't seen them adjust it. So Hope that answers your question. Now I see the text box. So awesome.
Great.
Now, when Google's going through websites, right, and they're realizing, okay, there's companies out there that are doing tactics that isn't optimization, it's manipulation, right? They're going to make algorithm updates. Algorithm updates, in my opinion, are a good thing, right? A lot of SEOs out there will hate them if they're doing something that is not with what their standards are, right? I can honestly tell you, Boostability has been hit by one of these algorithm updates where we had to do a check and say, all right, cool, what are we doing? How are we doing this? And that was the Penguin update. The Penguin update knocked almost every SEO company on their butt, and they realized what they need to do in order to help, right? Now, when Boostability is tracking all of these keywords, we can see down to an industry or an individual area when Google does an algorithm update. And it's just all Google is trying to do is they're trying to understand how can we provide the best service for the customers that are searching on our website. Google is a website. Us searching on their website, we are their customers. So they want to provide the best experience. They want to provide the best example of a website that they can refer somebody to. They're going to check and see when somebody comes back from the website they referred them to and how long that took, right? Or if somebody's simply not clicking on it. So that's where Google search engine optimization comes in by creating the best opportunity for somebody to click on it. Okay, so in 2012, 2013, when this algorithm hit, we realized that we needed to change, right? Now, since 2013, every algorithm that we've had that we can track, that we can see, that Moz and search engine land are reaching out to us to try and gather data, we've actually performed normal or even better. And that's simply because of the change from search engine manipulation to search engine optimization and creating the best answer for somebody. So here are some of the ones, and they're all cute animals, but in the SEO world, we all hate them. There's panda, penguin, hummingbird, pigeon, and then right now there's a mobile friendly, and then some other ones that are coming out. But literally Google is doing updates. There's so many, it's ridiculous. So in 2018 alone, they reported 3,200 updates. I know that there's more than that because they break it down into an individual section or a region, and then within that region as well. Right now, I know that Europe and Africa are going through some regional updates, but Google's just trying to create the best opportunity for people searching on their website. Just to make sure, are there any other questions? Nope, we're good. Setting expectations with SEO is one of the biggest things ever, right? Recently, I was on a call with a yoga studio out of Scotland, and they yeah, I love it, right? And they're like, we think it's not going to cost a lot because we're in Scotland. There's not as many people here, right? They're specifically in Edinburgh, and then specifically from there in Leith. So all I did was I said, okay, let's talk about that. Let's figure out how much competition there is in your area. I pulled up a Google search and I searched in their area. And then I just did a map search to understand how many studios were there. And within 10 blocks, there are 15 different yoga studios. 15. And it's important for people to understand this is the exact reason why I define SEO as the work that goes into your website to make it relevant and trusted. There's actual work that's needed in order for Google to see you as the actual answer compared to all of those 15 other studios that are next to you. So that's the reason why we like to say it's going to take 2 to 5 months for you to get found on the first page or get identified for Google to recognize you and then move towards the first page, right? I've seen anywhere where somebody's, gone from the 10th or 13th page all the way up to the second or the third. And it's simply, you've got to allow enough time for Google to go from your website to the other websites and then back and forth, and then also judge you according to your peers, right? And it's very, very important to make sure that you set a specific example. So similar to what I was saying about that Scotland one, here is, if you have Hendricks Plumbing only services Montreal, right? And you've got a local campaign. Oh, sorry, I'm clicking everywhere now. The main gist of this, and I want to get to the next points, is if you have, let's say, that exact same yoga studio that's in Leith, right? And they want to rank for all of Edinburgh because they think, do you know how many people there are here in Edinburgh? Where we should be thinking, he put 3. I love it. I love it. There's 3. You've got to create an actual reason why you should rank for all of that area. If you don't have an actual reason, you need to rank where you're located and then branch out from there. Now, if you had 5 or 6 different studios in Edinburgh, that makes sense. That's why you should rank for there, but you might have to go more granular. There's a reason why in New York City, when you search for pizza, it breaks it down to the street and what's closest to you, right? And we need to make sure we're preparing for that. So in the first 30 to 45 days, we do a website analysis. We'll do
Sorry,
keyword
Nick,
research.
can I interrupt? We just have a question and I want to make sure it's onto that slide. It says, how important is technology used in Google search? I was told using PWA weights your site higher than traditional web with mobility friendly.
I think right now they're going back and forth between that. Google has put a lot of emphasis on this, all of their updates with trying to create, making sure that you've got a standard when it comes to a website, whether or not it's speed, how quick it loads, the way that it's organized, all of this. Google's trying to make it so that when they send somebody to your website, they're getting a good experience, right? And then in the last 4 or 5 years, they've been trying to make sure that a lot of us are searching from our phones, and we need to make sure that we have a mobile-friendly website, right? Google is right now going back and forth and trying to weight how much value there is with just overall site design and speed compared to mobility and how heavy your image is, the way that the coding is there extra coding that's simply not needed, and whatnot. I can say this. Right now, it's going back and forth to where I do not feel comfortable stating this is more valuable than the other. I can say right now, I would put an emphasis on both of them across the board, that those are things that no matter what, you need to take care of. Just that is it, because I've seen it. There was an update that happened around October last year where it just got hugely hit because of the mobile friendliness, and then they took it away not even a week later. So they made an adjustment so that it didn't affect as many people. Right now, Google's doing that weighing, and they'll hit something and then they'll take it back because they didn't like what they did. Now, are there any other questions, or does that answer your question? Is that Brian?
Brian, does that answer your question? We do have one other, but I'll wait for Brian to just maybe drop in the chat or just unmute himself to say if that helped. I'm sure. Okay, so Ryan asks, how does the work done and timeline compare with Alpha? Is this a standalone that could replace Alpha?
I love Alpha. Honestly, their product that they've got is good, right? Period. It is a good product, period. And I like the fact that Vendasta has placed us next to a product that is valuable, because there's nothing worse than standing next to something that, you know, you might be affected by, period, in a negative way. So Alpha is a great product. We provide an SEO service that has support next to it. You can reach out to our account management team and ask questions today about all of the services that are going on. You can ask questions about what's happening, and we'll be able to answer real time. The main separation between Boostability and Alpha is scalability, the ability that we can reach out to your customers and provide an update. And then along with that is we've been inside of the SEO world for longer, so we understand what's happening. There's a reason why Moz, Search Engine Land, reach out to Boostability to understand what's happening inside of the SEO world. It's because we utilize the data that we've got to help each and every single one of the customers that is inside of our system to make them successful. That being said, Alpha is a damn good product, and I will say that confidently, and I love the fact that Vendasta trusts them. Boostability, you've got me. I've set up partnerships in 14 of those 17 countries. I've grown the Vendasta relationship just in general, and I've made sure that I'm present and available for anything and everything. Now, Boostability, we are growing, we are understanding, we're adapting with the landscape that is SEO. We do not do knee-jerk changes. We do simple and subtle changes that help our customers in the long run. Right now, we've got some great things coming down the line that will set us apart even more with the higher quality, larger customers that are out there. We've got customers who are spending 200-300 hours a month with us just to get them ranking nationally. We also have some customers who are a small yoga studio in Lehi, Utah, and they're spending 10 hours and they're loving it and they're getting the customers that they need. So can we replace them? Yes, we can. Do we need to? Not every time, right? But if you want valuable support, Boostability is always here to support you with that. I hope that answers your question. And I also love the ooh from Mr. David.
Ryan says he'd like to schedule a meeting with you one-on-one. So I'll
Sounds
get
great.
Ryan's email from Ryan. I'll get your email and then I'll share it with Nick.
Thank you. Guys.
So Brian, how much trouble the evil overlord Apple has thrown into Google search model now with all the permissions requests on mobile?
I still right now it's hard to understand what's happening, right? It's so recent that there's several things that are going on that they've got to understand, right? I was looking up something and I'm looking for it right now the other day, but I think it's still too early to understand it. I think no matter what, Google will fight for a lot, and I don't think it's gonna just be an instant boom, huge effect. Now, what I'll do is I'm noticing a lot of people are also looking for a way to speak with me. I just added my Calendly link to the to this, right? So please feel free to schedule a call with me. I'd be more than happy to explain what we're doing, what's going on. And then inside of that link, I've also included a Zoom link. So it's no big deal. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Awesome.
We have Tim asking a question. How do we choose when a client needs SEO or paid ads?
I think everybody should have paid ads, right? If you I think you should have both, period, right? If you want somebody fast acting, instant, paid ads are valuable. 16% of the people who are searching on Google are going to click on paid ads. That's 16%, that's valuable, right? Do I think that everybody should try and optimize their website so that they can be found? Of course, right? So that's something that they will need to dedicate some time to. Now, determining whether or not they're ready for it, that's something that they'll have to do internally. SEO can be, it's an investment and you need to make sure that you're prepared for it. Similar like this timeline, it's not going to take a month. So you need to feel comfortable with what you're investing in. And I hope that answers the question. It's not the easiest, but I believe if you've got a bucket with 10 holes, right, you need to fill all of the holes as much as you can in order for it to fill up with water. So that's kind of like your marketing budget. You can't just dedicate it to just one. So the way that I like to look at an SEO timeline really quickly so that I can finish this slide, first 30 to 45 days, we're going to really focus on your website. We want to understand it, how it works. Is there anything that could potentially hinder our opportunity to rank? Now, Launchpad, the service that we created, that platform that we work off of, it delegates tasks to help figure out what is needed for that customer. It will also regularly check to see if there's anything on the website that could hinder the possibility of ranking. We'll do keyword research. We'll choose a keyword with you. If we have a white labeled partnership, which I can talk to you later on about, we will actually reach out to your customer and select those keywords and discuss what we found on the website. And then we're going to start building trust in the form of links. First 2 to 5 months, we've seen a significant growth on your rankings. And then our goal is to get you ranking on the first page 6 to 9 months. Remember, 86% of our customers get on the first page within 6. And then once we get you on the first page, we want to get you secure. Then we're going to focus on the next growth opportunity for you. So I'm not a good example of this, but I love saying it. And it's been difficult this last week because I've had a lot of yoga conversations with people who just have like beautiful bodies, right? But SEO is like going to the gym, right? If you're Mr. Davis here and you're going to the gym regularly, right? And you're looking good and you're killing it. You go for 6 months and you're looking good, right? And you stop going for a week or a month, you're going to start to feel it a little bit, but it's not going to affect you that much physically, right? Now, if you stop for 6 months, you're not going to be the same. And that's what happens with traditional SEO, right? Google's looking at your website. They're seeing you as a healthy opportunity for them to send traffic to. And then all of a sudden, they say, you know what? He's not answering his phone as much. There's not as much links. There's not as much regular updates to his website. Your ranking will decrease. I did a study on this for Boostability with some of our customers that had canceled. And I also did a study in seeing, okay, when they canceled, did they continue doing some form of SEO? Okay, all of the ones who stopped doing SEO, period, in 1 month, they dropped about 1 to 3 positions at the most, right? After 6 months, they dropped from 3 to 6 pages, majority of them being about 5.7 pages. It's not Google saying, oh, they're bad. It's just Google saying, hey, guess what? There's somebody next to you who's trying more, right? So we want to make sure that we maintain that healthiness and you keep on going and you're beautiful, right, Mr. Davis?
That is correct, Nick. Yes.
I love it.
So you saw that picture, but yeah.
He looks good, man. He looks good.
I'm
proud of you.
trying.
You got it, dude. So that is it. The main thing with SEO is it's a continual thing. There will be regular updates. There will be things that happen in the SEO world that can affect you. The main thing that you need to remember is you need to get started at some point, and there's simple things that you can do in order for you to get on the first page and then maintain it. The main thing is search engine optimization will always last. Search engine manipulation will create a problem for you later on that you've got to find a way to fix, or you've got to dump the website and get a new website. So
awesome.
What questions you got for me?
Okay, I see a couple in the group. Let me just roll back up. Quick one that Tim asks, can we use that 86% stat in our marketing?
All day.
Kathy said yes, and Brian had a good point. Always refer to the source for validity. Let's see, Doug asks, how well do you work with third-party website companies that really don't like that we are having to co-op with them?
If we've got logins to those websites, we can actually make the changes ourselves. So that's 1. 2, if they don't want us to have access to them, that's fair. We can provide a PDF for them on what changes we'd recommend them to change on the website. So either way, we try and provide a resolution to help them to be able to make those changes on their website. Okay.
Great. Let's see if we have another one.
Also, Colleen, I do want to tell you, and not everybody knows this, in the month of October, November, and December, we're going to be running a promotion for any account that is sold. It will start with double hours. So for example, if you sell a 10-hour account, it will start with 20 hours for the first month, then go down to 10. Yes, it's for everybody. So for example, if you've got a customer who's got 200 hours, which this is happening this week, we'll provide an extra 200 hours on it. Now with that one, I might spread it a little bit, but that is there as well as a promotion.
Oh, that's
great.
Great.
October, November, and December. And if you reach out to me now, I'm pretty sure I can do that now if you want to sell something beforehand.
Okay, so let's see. Kathy asks, SEO is local. How do you recommend rolling out to a larger audience nationwide?
SEO is local if the search query is local, right? For example, if I'm trying to find a barber shop or those type of things, Google will put it in a local category, right? But if it's barbershop chairs, they're going to know in a way that it's something different. The main thing is just knowing the audience that you're searching for, or that Google's searching for, and then creating it. The basic understanding of SEO of titles, descriptions, H1s, copy, that does not change, but the link building tactics that we do does. So we might try and change the way that we're creating, where we're not submitting to a local directory or those type of things. We might dedicate it to blogs, articles, creating those type of high value types of links pointing back.
Awesome. Oh, Mark wants to know where your link is at. He does not see it.
Oh, I sent it to freaking Ryan, man. I didn't send it to the group. That's embarrassing. Ryan's got it like 5 times now. I love it.
Perfect. Kate, we have, where is it? Frank asks, how do we know if we need an additional 10 hours or not?
So the way that we like to look at it is it's based off of where the customer's located in the industry, right? So if you're a New York attorney, how many attorneys are there in New York? You don't even know. We might recommend a higher spend. We have a pricing tool that's in part of our product, where that pricing tool bases it off of location, and that location, if you want to go even more, is based off the population of that location. And then we've created a grade of how difficult that individual industry is. So you'll choose which industry it is, which location they are, and then it will go together and spit out what recommended budget we would have. We also provide a sales support service. You can, and let me get that phone number for you. That service is, this is the phone number. You can call this phone and you can say, hey, I'm a Vendasta partner. I would like to know how much it would cost for this specific website to get on the first page. That team will do the pricing tool. They can talk to you. They can answer any questions that you've got about how to sell it. It's 100% free. That honestly is amazing. You can even introduce us as your SEO team, and then we will actually sell the account for you. You just have to be on the phone with us. So we'll go through a discovery call, we'll analyze the customer's website, and then we'll actually sell it for you. We'll tell you, okay, we recommend 50 hours. And the customer will be eating it up at that point. And then you will go through the Vendasta system and add our product to their name.
Wicked.
Utilizing that 3-way call, we've got a 31% close rate. So in the first 6 months of this year, even with the pandemic going on, we had 6,000 calls. We had over 6,000 calls. So the close rate has not changed for the last 4 years either. Coming up on 5 years, I'm gonna have to change that.
Kate, we had another question. Ryan Blitz, he wanted to ask a question that's not related to SEO. What you got for us, Ryan?
I was just curious. I had posted in the community sessions board, and I had been receiving answers from one person, but what is everyone using for a CRM, or is Sales and Success Center sufficient? And I don't mean for the business owner, I mean for hiring sales staff that you don't necessarily want in Partner Center.
Anybody?
Well, yeah, you can limit them as a salesperson. You don't give them all of the rights. I have a salesperson. She doesn't get access to my management side of things. She only gets access to the accounts that she is assigned to or that brings to the table.
And that acts as enough of a CRM that it maintains the client relationship?
She hasn't had a problem so far. Yeah. I mean, if you want to get really granular and like really have lots and lots of bells and whistles, but to get started so you can start configuring everything, it's working very well.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Awesome.
I actually use a separate CRM. I have 6 salespeople in different states, and 1099 all of them to do that all correctly. But I have a separate CRM, so I can see everything that they're doing, and I can provide them the content that I think they need. I found that bringing on a salesperson and giving them the blast of Vendasta all at one time, it scares some of them off, I guess. It's kind of like, I'm never going to learn all that. But I've also given them the ability to learn as they go. So there's a lot of really inexpensive CRMs out there. They usually run between $35 and $175 a month if you really want to get crazy on it. Stay away from Salesforce if you're going to even look at anything, because it's a too heavy of a program, number one. But I've used Crazy Call before, and it's a real inexpensive dialing program where you can load up companies for them to call, and it just rolls through the companies. And then it's got a hierarchy so that when you make the phone calls coming through, and this is true of DYL, Crazy Call, you look them up, you'll see 10 of them. You just have to think of which one's the best for you. But they actually have the ability to share. You can listen in on the phone calls. You get call recordings on everything. So it works really well, and you can split off the campaigns that you're using between. So if you've got one guy doing one form of business with you, and then you've got somebody else that's providing leads to that guy, they have different calling queues that they can work with. So just, if you look for inexpensive call or CRM, you'll find about 10 of them. That's how I found all of these. And I settled on Crazy Call and DYL. I'm using them both because there's a couple of guys that have been well vested in the insurance industry, and they've been using that. So I'm allowing them to do that.
Are you using those two as standalones, or do they play nice with the Vendasta platform?
Standalone.
Okay.
They don't play nice with anybody. They're cheap. They're very cheap.
I think maybe I'm just going to plug Vendasta's CRM real quick.
No, Vendasta's platform works great for me and great for my partner. I mean, we both only use that, but the guys that are outside, to answer direct to the question, is the guys that are outside, it gives us the ability to have kind of an outside resource for it. We have two guys that are going to come on, and they're going to be using the Vendasta platform completely and get away from the CRM because they've graduated to that level.
Nice. That's a good answer. Okay, I have 2 questions left in here, and then we'll just have to wrap it up. So Mark asks, are Swan websites any good?
The animal? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Swan websites, it depends. There's 2 actual CMSs that I know have Swan in the name. So that's something that I would have to investigate. I know one of them is one that's notoriously a pain in the booty to work on. So I don't know that. So Lloyd, I would recommend reaching out to me, and then I can help you figure out which one you're speaking to, and then I'll give my opinion about whether or not it's difficult for us to work on it, right?
Okay, so we have
Squarespace is great. Don't worry about Squarespace.
No, Website Pro, come on.
Oh, somebody asked.
Oh,
yeah, same
right,
questions for Squarespace.
Right. Kate, Lloyd is asking, what types of reports does Boostability offer?
So Boostability offers 2 options. One of them is our standard reporting dashboard that's linked inside of Vendasta's reporting center. So that one is something that I can go through if you want to schedule a call with me, and I'll go through how that looks. And then the other one is our premium reporting, where we will do some more manual type things and understand what's going on with the goals of that customer's website, and then provide that on a monthly basis. Those are 2 things that I can run through after this call. And then I believe Robert's got a question, right?
Yep. What you got for us? Oh, I don't hear you. No. No. Oh, okay. Do you want to type your question? No. Okay.
Yeah, I'll type.
It looks good. Okay. 5 minutes left. I wanted to show something. Some of you already know this, but exactly kind of what Nick just went over. We actually have a course on it now. We just launched it last week. So why small, medium businesses, SMBs, need SEO. So here's what you're going to learn. Here's extra materials. We got blogs, guides. We got an infographic for you. And you can earn a badge. See, look at that. Look at that cute little adorable badge. Look at it. You guys can earn that one, Paul. If you're
And
still
the thing
here.
about badges, Colleen, if you want to announce that as well.
Ooh, it's so exciting.
Exciting.
Exciting. So,
Where's your badge, Colleen?
you know what? I'm a little behind, okay? I'm a little behind. You can now add them to your LinkedIn profile. How cool is that? So I'm just going to go back. So we're on, I'll go to my profile because I can actually make that action. Burp. Wi-Fi at Vendasta. There we go. So if I go over to my badges tab, I now, every badge I have, I can easily drop it to LinkedIn. So let's see, I want people to know that I'm a LinkedIn social seller ninja. Add to my profile. It's already set up for you. This isn't checked off, but I think you all should. This credential does not expire. It links to your actual page. So if anyone clicks on the badge, it's brought back to you and done. Save. Whoop. Oh, it's thinking. It's thinking. It's trying. What happened? Oh, my computer froze. Oh, this is embarrassing. Why won't it? Oh, because I didn't actually hit the button. Oh. My computer froze, you guys.
Oh, you're good. I believe Robert was able to get it working. Robert, what
Yeah,
question you got, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I want to piggyback off of Kathy's earlier question, and then also kind of what Ryan kind of asked as well. When you have a company that doesn't have, let's say, a brick and mortar location where, you know, local really plays a big part in that. So let's say it's a marketing agency. Let's say it's a Vendasta partner, and let's say they're based out of New Jersey. Okay.
Okay.
But they want to start to acquire clients in a different state or a different territory. Can you help them with getting found in another state, in another territory, even though they're not physically there?
So one of the biggest and one of the most difficult things specifically within the marketing industry is SEO. I'm going to explain why, right? Every SEO company has the basics checked. Every SEO company has key competitors that are out there, right? Or marketing agencies, right? So if you're trying to market for something outside of your physical location, your competition automatically becomes Vendasta. In Google's eyes, not my eyes, in the search results, right? So is it possible? Yes. It's just we've got to make sure that we create that opportunity. How I would create that opportunity myself is I would create a page specifically to that location that you want to focus on and provide examples of companies that you've worked with or reasons why. Now, in one of those algorithm updates, the Hummingbird update specifically, in the past SEO, you would say, okay, I'm in this location. These are all the surrounding cities. I'm going to create an individual page for each one of those surrounding cities. Make sure that the titles, descriptions, the H1s, all of the copies speak to those cities and the services that I provide. Google hit those landing pages and then also hit the website and penalized them severely, to where now those people who were hit by that are actually having to get rid of their website and start new with a new domain. So it's one of those fine lines that you've got to actually create a reason why you should rank outside of your area by creating a page saying, this is how we do it nationwide, or this is how we provide this service for this region. Or if you're marketing to a specific, like there's a lot of people who only market to dentists, and then create pages and testimonials and have actual reasons why. But the second that you create too many of those, you can be penalized, and it does come down hard. Is it something that we work on? Absolutely. You need to get some valuable links. You need to find a way to get enough valuable links to a specific page to help it, and move on from there.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Wonderful.
No problem.
You guys have
He
been.
does sound like a DJ, man. I'm telling you, man.
Gosh.
I didn't
Wow.
say it. I didn't say it though. Doug said it, man.
You guys are funny.
See,
He said,
there's the
"See?"
voice again.
Oh my gosh.
could-
Okay. So I know it's at 11:31, but I see there's Thomas has asked a question and Kathy has her hand raised. You're
Thomas,
more than welcome.
Thomas
Go ahead.
has a question that to me is insanely important.
Go for it. I want the answer.
And so the question is, what is too many? Do we need to avoid suburb towns now? If you provide that service, right, in that area, and you have an actual reason why, that's something that you can defend with Google, right? But if you don't have an actual reason why, and you're just creating, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pages. I've got a garage door company that got hit 2 years ago. We're trying to still fix them from this update. And they had 20 extra pages where they were just spamming it, spinning the links or spinning the words so that wasn't the exact same. It wasn't counted as duplicate content, and then just put it inside of the footer. If you have to hide anything inside of your footer, or if you have to hide a sitemap in order for you to rank, that is something that Google will penalize you at some point for. So that is my thing is, if it doesn't look natural, don't do it. I hope that answers your question, Thomas.
And if I could throw something out just for everybody that's on the call, I have found that the auto dealers that deal with certain of they're competitors to Vendasta, but they're actual Ford and Chevy, GMC affiliates, I guess, like Ford Direct is a real hard one. If you are working within their working to try to get them as a client, somebody who subscribes to that, every one of those companies that deals with a company called DealerOn or dealer.com is like such an easy target for this, because what Nick just said is that they've got like 375 links on their website, because all they're doing is block and copying a WordPress website, and everything that was on the previous one is now on the other one. And one of my clients a year ago has now seen where they've got references to Philadelphia, California, and stuff like that on a local auto dealership in West Virginia. And it's because they're just block and copying everything. So they're getting results from all over the place. Plus, they're just bombarding the Google ad space with all these pages because they're not removing dead content. And when I went in and removed all that stuff, there's 455 links that were in it that I removed from their ad space without doing anything else, because I wasn't ready yet. Within 45 days, their listing went up about 45 points because they removed all that stuff. Those guys are such easy targets. And I can tell every time when they are a duplicate, because they use the yellow little 3 pictures at the bottom of their WordPress site. That's definitely from one of those 2 companies. And they're such easy targets. You call the GSM at an auto dealer and look at their website and see that they're not ranked properly and things like that. And the reason I'm telling you, because I'm not worried about the competition, because there's 4,700 sites with those 2 companies alone. And I have the complete list of all of them. So if you guys get in at one because I said this today, I'll just call the next one. I'm not worried about it, but you can. They're such easy targets for all of this stuff. And start at the minimum. Start out with the listing service and everything else, and work your way up to all the other things. And you'll end up within 6 months rebuilding their website and taking over their complete ad space. And by the way, their ad spend per month for a small dealership is $7,000. The larger dealerships, the medium-sized dealerships that we're dealing with now are running at the neighborhood of $15,000 to $20,000 a month ad spend. And that means, and I'm literally going in there and making between 25 and 35% of their ad spend as profit. So, and they think that's good. So have at it.
All righty. Okay. I think we have to wrap it up. Oh, what did I do? My computer is still frozen on my other screen. next week, I know I said last week that we're gonna change it up and I'm gonna bring external people like Nick here, but one of our team members, his name is Cass Eniker. Hopefully I said that right. He actually just launched our new affiliate program and he was wondering if it was okay to come talk to you guys. And I said, you know what, I'll check first, but I think it's good. I think the way they're running it now is like a 40% revenue share. So he's going to come next week. I just wanted to let you guys know that. I'm really excited because it's just like totally revamped, new process. So yeah, and big thank you to Nick. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your
Always.
wisdom. I think
Always.
a lot of people gained a lot of insight from you. We'll be sure to share the slide deck, take the course, earn the badge, and yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you
I
so
love it.
much.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. I appreciate it. It's always good to see your faces. Robert, we're reaching out. We're
Yes.
speaking, eh? Let's
All
make
right,
it happen.
absolutely. Take care,
Kathy,
guys.
I got to reach out to you soon too. All right, you guys be good.
All
Bye
right.
now.
Cheers,
All right,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a
Everyone
Everyone
wonderful
have a good
weekend.
weekend.